And so to wrap up the year 2024, we're here to showcase a potential defining character for the entire year. A character I know a lot of people have been excited about. Finally, a 1000-year Blood War FULLBRING BANKAI ICHIGO. This is specifically Ichigo from episode 7 of 1000-year Blood War, where the aura is absolutely unmatched. And I feel like Caleb did an amazing job with this character. What you're going to see in today's showcase is that he's just super fun to play with. He looks absolutely amazing visual-wise, and he's also one of the best characters in the entire game. That, alongside the fact that it's also at the same time one of Ichigo's coolest forms, coolest moments, this very well might be the most perfect unit that Brave Souls has to offer. But why exactly is that? So for starters, Ichigo himself is a Heart Soripo with the Quincy Killer Plus. What this does means that he will be doing 40% more damage to enemies that are Quincy affiliation. He does come with 14% recharge, and that's noteworthy, because if we have a look at the attacks this character does have, he is introducing a new strong attack type, a superior strong attack, which is indicated by these spikes around the strong attack. What this does mean is that it has a 20% higher magnification, and in simple layman terms, it's just 20% more damage basically, right? Now this does come at the cost of the SA2 having a 2-second longer than usual cooldown, but when you build this character with full recharge, you're not even going to notice the extra maybe second of recharge for that SA2. But what you are going to notice is the extra 20% damage. Alongside that, the character is introducing a Weakening Plus, which is stated to be a more powerful status element that can be inflicted for longer periods of time. But most importantly, what you are going to notice is that you can inflict status elements on enemies that are already inflicted with a status element. And this essentially means that this character, when playing with him, he's always going to be able to keep his 80% spiritual pressure boost upon inflicting a status element. So with that in mind, the damage this character does have, it's Frenzy plus 3, 60% strong attack damage increase, and the 80% spiritual pressure boost. 3 simple skills, but it's exactly what you want to make a very powerful character. It also gets higher too because he does have an EX move, where you are then getting above 300% spiritual pressure boost for just 10 seconds. That, alongside the Weakening Plus and also superior strong attack, is going to make him a very powerful character. And if that wasn't enough too, he also comes with 4 very powerful enemies defeated bonuses. For 20 enemies defeated, he's getting 20% more mini damage. After 40, he's reducing the strong attack cooldown for your entire team in between stages by 15%. In Limit Breaker, this basically means his strong attacks will be ready to go next time he is available, and that's for any character, any attribute, any affiliation. After 60 enemies defeated, he then gets extra 60% damage on his Sword Bomb, and keep in mind he already has 60% built in, so his Sword Bomb will be doing actually quite a bit of damage after 60 enemies defeated, and that's going to be perfect for his 80 enemies defeated bonus, where you do get an additional Sword Bomb. He's the second character in the game to have this, the first character introducing this a year ago, that being Yuhabak. So not only do we have a very powerful damage dealing character, Frenzy plus 3, high berserker value, 80% SP boost, that can go even higher with the EX attack. He has a superior strong attack, he has Weakening Plus. He can reduce the cooldown for your entire team in between stages and gives himself an extra Sword Bomb. This is absolutely crazy, and they get even better with the utility effects. Sprinter plus 2, long stride, so he's going to be a very mobile character, very fast, that's going to work well with the strong attacks that he does have, and then he's also immune to every status element. He has Debilitator as well, which is something that 9th anniversary Mugetsu did lack. This, again, very well might be like the most perfect character in the entire game. So much so, for today's showcase, I do have the character at special level 2, so I do have the focus slot, but I'm not going to use that for today's showcase. At the same time, he's so powerful, unironically, I'm not going to give him any special move sources. I was going to max transcend him using 3 rainbow move sources, but for my playtesting alone thus far at 2 out of 5, at max transcendence, there's not going to be any content that can really handle the absolute power that is coming from this character. So at least for now, I'm pretty happy with special move level 2, level 10 SP, level 10 focus. Now for today's showcase, I do get asked the question a lot, what bonus abilities should you be putting on this character? Always go with full stamina. Since he has long stride built in, the second option can be 2 different things. It can be 200 SP or damage to weakened enemies. Right now, for Go Quest content, I'm finding damage to weakened enemies a bit more beneficial. So personally, I'm just rocking with these 2 bonus abilities. And for today's build, we are going to be using a Fortification Pill, T-Set, and also 5-star plus Lieutenant Badge. For our links, we're using 3 strong attack damage only at full stamina soul traits. All 3 give the exact same buff here, but it is one of the better soul traits you can use for a character like this. Now, one of the best parts about this character for me personally was that obviously I do like the FULLBRING ICHIGO design, but the best part is the aura of the Getsuke Tensho, it being black and white. It just looks so cool. So his SA1 is going to be a beam forward, his SA2 is going to be a 960 in front of him, Really good range. Really fast activation times too. Like, we can actually finish that entire room with like 2 strong attacks. And then his SA3 is going to be, if we position ourselves correctly, an SA3 that also comes out very quick. And the voice acting on this character is absolutely crazy. Morita was doing God's work in the studio, really emphasizing how angry this character is, rightfully so. This is Ichigo after pulling up to a broken down Soul Society. And what we can see here is that we already got our second Soul Bomb. So we can actually go ahead and use that right now. Which very well might be the best Soul Bomb in the entire game. It's so good. Man, is it absolutely amazing just to have really good animations on a great character that also is just super cool, right? Like, I can watch this all day. I'm never skipping this. I might. I don't know. But it's just so good. Oh. And it feels great hearing Ichigo say get a potential or so, especially after the Violet Ichigo situation where he just doesn't say it. And you hear that? You see that end pose? They do the same Soul Society pose. Oh, man. Like, this character is just perfect. Everything is just perfect. It's so crazy. But for our very first attempt where we're trying to showcase the character and see how he does perform, 1 minute 19. We weren't even trying to go fast, but we still cleared relatively fast. And I haven't mentioned it just yet too. One more cool thing about this unit is the aura of the character. Not only does he have a black and white lightning effect that goes alongside the aura of this character with his black and white Getsuga, he also just has this steam going off of him, which is what we do see in episode 7. So like, he also has like that uniqueness about him too that no other character has in the game, or at least in recent times. Let's try that again though. This time let's try and go for a fast clear time. So SA1 into the, or 3 into the 1 more so. Now remember, this quest does want you to have Killer to a certain extent. Unfortunately, we can actually one-shot the enemy there. But I haven't even, never mind, I haven't even been using his EX attack, which I should probably use, right? So this just goes to show how powerful he is. Right, we're not even having to use our EX attack just there. But we will, I think, for the next quest, right? So let's use our SA2 here. Look at that damage. That's against an enemy that we don't even have Killer against too. Almost one-shooting at 1-5 without even inflicting weakening. Let's go here, Sobom. There we go. 1 enemy stays alive. That'd be Mininja, but it's fine. She's basically one shot at that point. Next run, we will do our EX attack, and that will make a pretty big difference with our damage output. Let's go ahead. Use the Som again. Again, I'm not skipping it. I skipped it last time. My bad. But man, like, this animation is so good. I can only imagine what some of the upcoming characters are going to be. I've been quite vocal about wanting a remake of 1000 Year Blood War Bankai Yamamoto. And if they did this character justice, I can only imagine what he's going to like in-game. Especially also the core 3 characters. But look at that. Second attempt, 43 seconds. We're getting even faster. We very well might get that sub 40. Alright then, so for our third run, let's go ahead and use the EX attack. Activate the SA3. And then one shot there. The boss goes down straight away. We got our 80% SP boost. Don't even know if we had the 80% straight away. And I think we actually just one-shot. Yeah, we one-shot Bambiera there. Granted, we have Killer against it, but still absolutely crazy. Let's use the SA1. Might as well use our 3. Finish up with the 2. And then now we have our extra Soul Bomb. 1. Hopefully the Soul Bomb kills him. Almost does, to be fair. We took some damage, but that's fine. Maybe I should have used my Soul Bomb, then SA1. Maybe did that the wrong order. And to be fair, hold on. We can actually get faster. We have 3 Soul Bombs. Hold on. Let's finish up with the 3. Hold on. We actually could nuke second room, I guess. And then nuke again. And then nuke again this stage. Hold on. We might be able to get like sub 20. In Link's Sword Trials, everything is okay, Ichigo. Like, you can actually hear the sound effect of his clothes moving. 30 seconds is crazy. For a 1 out of 5 run, too. Keep that in mind. Alright, so let's make this our final run. Activate the EX attack into the SA3. Then use our 1. Didn't actually get a spiritual pressure boost there, funny enough. So we actually weren't able to one-shot the Kensei. But let's go use the SA1 there. That's perfect. Going in here, we can actually use the SA1 right away because we do have the extra recharge now. Then Soul Bomb. Surprisingly, didn't actually one-shot. But close enough. And then let's go here. Soul Bomb again. Use the SA3 just to finish up. And remember, you can spam your strong attacks because they do come back as you go into the next stage. Let's use our 1. Soul Bomb again. And I think the Soul Bomb actually killed that time. There we go. So that's like a perfect run. Using 3 Soul Bombs in one quest is crazy. It is crazy. And what is the clear time looking like in Links or trials? Let's find out. 29 seconds. There we go. Sub 30. It's crazy. So just using this quest as an example, you can see how smooth the character is actually to play with. And when we get that new update, that is coming in like 2 months, the potential wave clearing game modes. You already know Ichigo is going to be one of the better characters there, especially because he is going to be able to get that second soul bomb. And right now, only Ichigo and Yuha have access to those second soul bombs. Next up, let's take the character into Limit Breaker quest. Keep in mind, right now it's the beginner-friendly quest, so it's super easy regardless if you have Ichigo or not. But next week, we should be getting a second Limit Breaker quest, where we should be able to more demonstrate the true strength of this character in more harder content. Now, again, Limit Breaker is going to be a very good game mode for Ichigo because he does give you the recharge in between stages, so when the character is next available to use, all his strong attacks should be ready to go. And to have that on top of a second soul bomb is actually really crazy. And to be fair, even in this beginner-friendly Limit Breaker quest, it's still a good example to show how good this character is, because we only have 2 minutes. Even though it's easy, you are still short on time. And having Ichigo on our team after, what, 40 enemies defeated? So after this run, essentially, he will have all his strong attacks ready. And that will let us spam our strong attacks every character when they are next available. Because remember, just like Soifon, his recharge in between stages is not restrictive to certain affiliations or certain attributes. So we just get to spam our strong attacks. And I'm using right now some of my favorite characters of the year. All good characters to use right now for SOT 1 and 3. And you can see there, like, we can just use our strong attacks and cancel out them super quick. No crappy range collision attacks, no awkward strong attacks. They're all just out and hit the opponent super, super easy. Which is what you're going to see. Super smooth gameplay, right? Alright, so thus far, we are currently on stage number 10. A minute left to go, so our goal right now is to try and get to stage 20. And we do currently have our second soul bomb. Where do I want to use it? I'm not too sure. But thus far, we are one-shotting. I don't think there's going to be a point in this quest where we aren't one-shotting. But Ichigo, you can see that, like, 500k damage on the SA2. Crazy stuff right now. 1 out of 5 as well. Into stage 15. Let's SA1. Then use our 2 into the 3. Still have 2 soul bombs. We still have 2 soul bombs. When do I want to use it? Not too sure. Could use it now. But we're already doing so much damage with our strong attacks. You don't even realize. I guess we'll use one of the soul bombs now. Next one, let's use our second strong attack into the 1. Unfortunately, those enemies have super fast activation time. Slows down a tad bit, but it's fine. There we go. No need to even use Ichigo's soul bomb. But if we can somehow get to him again, we'll do it. And then with Gremmy, we should get into stage 21, where it does give us the clearance record of 20. Unless, hold on. Oh, we're like right into 22. That's unfortunate. But it's fine. I'm not too fussed about the clear score. But you can see that easily stage 20 using Ichigo. And it's mainly thanks to the fact that he is giving us that extra recharge. And truth be told, if we used the soul bomb, we could have gotten to 21. Right now, this is an easy Limit Breaker quest. So maybe it's not that impressive, but the recharge was definitely helpful. But next Limit Breaker quest, and again, even in future ones, because his damage output's so high, maybe that's where having him max transcended would be a lot more beneficial. Because maybe you can use him when the rules aren't really meant for him to be used in. But with a good killer, frenzy free, poise break, weakening plus, recharge in between stages, and also a very powerful EX attack, you should hypothetically be able to use him more often than not in Limit Breaker every other month. Maybe even every month, who actually knows? Next up though, let's take him into the new Nightmare Melee Quincy Guild Quest. Of course, you know this character is going to shine in this game mode. And right now, as far as Melee Quincies are concerned, there's actually a decent selection of characters here. Like, the top 5 characters can be used as mains. But obviously, none of them are going to be nearly as good as Ichigo. When it comes to the autoplay characters, there's only one really good normal attack damage character, that being Grimmjow. If you don't own him, like myself, your next best thing that you can do is just to boost Ichigo's damage output. Very similar to Kenpachi, the 9th anniversary one. There's no point building other characters. Just make your main character even better, which is what we are seeing here with Ichigo. So the general idea for this team setup is to use Zangetsu. And I really like the idea, even if it is just convenient, a coincidence more so, of using a character to buff someone else, and it makes sense. In this case, using Zangetsu to buff Ichigo, that's super cool. But what exactly does Zangetsu give? Well, he's only here for the 20% strong attack damage to specifically Heart Attribute Soripers. Now, with that in mind, funny enough, we're using Ichigo again, we're using Mugetsu. 20% more strong attack damage through the Soul Trait. So through Zangetsu alone, we're getting 40% more strong attack damage. Tendro is one of the best supports for any story bit in Guild Quest. Now is another example. Why? Because using Tendro, we are getting 30% more damage, in this case to weakened enemies. On top of the fact that Tendro will be giving us 43% more attack and also focus. So 2 characters buffing out Ichigo's damage output. Now this build, what you are seeing here, might feel wonky, but honestly, it did work. So, of course, we are going to be using the Lieutenant's Badge for 35% more strong attack damage. We're using the Quincy Killer Sticker to get more killer effects. And then we're using Attention Tie. Now, the reason why we are using Attention Tie is because when I do use my summon on the 3rd wave, there's like 1 or 2 enemies that stay alive. And you could maybe position yourself to follow up with an additional strong attack and take down those enemies alongside the boss. But I found it maybe more beneficial, more consistent for me to use Attention Tie. Because upon doing that, when I use my summon, all the small enemies will die. And I can just focus on the main boss. And the thing is, granted, I was testing this character at 2.5. I've not tried him at 1.5 just yet, which we are going to do now. Because his damage output's so high, you don't even probably need a fortification pill, and that's why we are using Attention Time. With that in mind, we're using these 3 soul traits, getting 1,800 additional SP, and then of course, like I said, full stamina and also damage to weakened enemies, an extra multiplier to get that extra bit of damage. Now, hopefully we can get a good run. So what we are going to do right away is activate our EX attack. There we go, and then go in and activate our SA3. And you can see there, we one-shot. Into the SA2, one-shot. Then we use our soul bomb. One-shot. Actually, hold on. Did someone stay alive? Oh, no way someone stayed alive. What? There's fireworks going off in the background. They know Ichigo's popping off. Let's SA2. Then use our 1. We didn't get a status proc right away, unfortunately. Slowed us down a tad bit. We'll keep the run going, though. We actually, you can see there, the weaken plus effects. So we actually weakened the enemy, even though Candice was paralyzed. So that's actually kind of cool that, you know, Tenjiro's Stasmans doesn't again mess up with us. And we finished up there with, what, like 20 seconds to spare. We might as well, just for the sake of the video, go into the extra wave and just showcase how much damage we're doing against Uryu, right? So in this case, SA2 into the 1. And again, another example, right? Paralyzed right now, so no one's taking damage, and we can still get that weakening proc. That's so cool. That's probably going to be the best part about the Stasman Plus. And when you have those as a character, because now we don't have to worry about taking damage, and we're also doing more damage with the weakening effect. 1 out of 5 in a run that I would consider bad, 20 seconds to spare. Super easily done in our first attempt. And while that wasn't the greatest run for our first example, you could see the potential, right? Those first 3 waves were almost perfect. I don't know how one enemy had a lot of HP left over. That was weird. Especially because it was a Mind character. Like, how did that happen? Maybe he dodged it. Maybe it was where I was standing. That likely is what happened. So again, let's use our EX. Go in, SA3. Didn't one-shot, but that sometimes does happen. You do have to get that status proc right away, like again with Bambietta, but it is fairly consistent. Let's go and use our Soul Bomb. Then use our 1. There we go. That's what we want to do. Into Candice, SA3. Into the 1. And then hopefully we one-shot with the 2. Close enough. I actually would have killed there with the SA1, but an enemy actually targeted my... changed the target for my Ichigo. So 42 seconds there. But again, you can see the potential, right? We're not going to do the extra wave just yet. I'll try and get a better run. But I believe from what I have seen thus far, Ichigo can get upwards to like 52 seconds remaining. Almost very easily and consistently. Again, I always like to say with a character like this, it's nice when a character can get super high scores, but when you have to reset for like an hour to get that good score, it sucks. With Ichigo, you know, it's very similar to Gremmy, to be fair, and even Kenpachi. He's like the super consistent, high-scoring character you expect with a character like this. So EX, go in SA3. Tiny bit of HP left, unfortunately. Hopefully, he can one-shot Bambietta. Tiny bit of HP left. That's unfortunate. You still have to get lucky with the status procs, but it is more consistent than not at the very least. That's SA3. And this might be our best run of the day thus far for this video. 50 seconds remaining almost. There's 1 enemy left alive. All right, then let's try that again. And jumping to our next run, let's go ahead and use our EX. Flash step forward and use the SA3. Sometimes you don't one-shot, but that ultimately comes down to whether you inflict a Stasman or not. But the SA2, that's crazy. That's so fast. Go into Candice. That's SA3. Now, hopefully we can one-shot Uryu here. That'd be great. Ah, so close. We'll take the 51. 1 out of 5? 51 seconds is crazy. It really is. It really, really is. And then going into our next one, again, lucky for us, this boss here is a Mind character, right? And if Tendril wants to inflict status augments and stop the enemy from attacking, by all means, go ahead. We can still get our weakening proc. Look how consistent. The SP boost literally left, and it's already back. And then look at that. At 1 out of 5, 41 seconds remaining after defeating the 2 extra levels. Assuming they did eventually allow more than 2 extra levels, because that will be a thing in the future. Assumingly, it's going to go up to extra level 5. Very well, Ichigo might clear it by himself at 1 out of 5, especially if you ever get duplicates of this character. And again, the crazy part of Ichigo, kind of like Kenpachi to be fair, although we haven't actually tried Kenpachi out since this GQ update, is that he's doing it by himself. He's doing it by himself. Granted, he is getting bugged, but all the damage is straight coming from this character. And that's probably the best part about Ichigo being a hard character too, is that he can get buffs from someone like Zangetsu, and why Storybuzz right now, and to a certain extent Quincy, because they have access to Gremmy, are just really good when the character itself is amazing, because they just get even better with buffs like these characters. And remember, the funny part is like, we did that without even a fortification build. We were using attention time, but like, that's something you might want to do now, assuming a character has like crazy damage output on their strong attacks, because in our previous runs that we were doing earlier today in our stream, the only time we weren't one-shotting is when we used our soul bomb, so that's why we did throw in the tension tie. So unironically, it's not a bad item to use right now. And remember, that's 1 out of 5, only SP level 10. Throw in the focus slot, you're likely getting upwards to like 53 seconds more consistently. I've heard people get 54 seconds with a 1-5 Ichigo. I personally haven't been able to replicate that run, because you do need to get lucky with the status procs, you know? But for the sake of the video, let's just try one more attempt and just show how maybe consistent it actually is. Let's EX. One thing you might want to do with Ichigo when using him is actually use the EX right away. You can cancel out to the animation. But if you don't, you're kind of just stuck there for like a second. I think it has decent invincibility frames, but it is not noticeable when you're just kind of stuck standing there. Now, definitely want to summon the 3rd boss, because the 4th boss here on Candice doesn't actually one-shot with the soul bomb. So 3rd boss is definitely the play there. Seems to be the way to do it. And this run, unfortunately, was not our best run. We didn't actually get lucky there with the status procs, but even on a worst case scenario, on Nightmare, by the way, Nightmare, we're looking at like minimum 40 seconds remaining at 1-5, assuming you have some decent characters to back you up, you know? I honestly thought we were moving away from a support meta like this, because the Nightmare bosses in particular saw a pretty decent raise in HP, but Ichigo's just gone ahead and released and said, nah, we're back to the SP meta, no need for normal attack damage characters, just let me solo it, and just make me even better using the supports. But with that said, that's going to be our first showcase for this character. We're definitely going to showcase him in other parts, always the Trimat and Max Transcendence. Like I said, we are going to get a more difficult limit breaker potentially next week. I'm going to showcase this character in Arena, which is something that I've not done in a while, only do it for special characters like this, for example. And then Epic Raids currently isn't available right now, and the Grimjaw Epic Raid does have like 80 million HP, so I am curious myself to see how fast this character will clear it. But in general, just first impressions, right from the get-go, not like I needed to know how good this character was. On paper, you can already tell he's absolutely amazing, but I really do believe this might be one of the most perfect characters in the entire game. From a visual standpoint, he just looks so cool. And again, FULLBRING Ichigo Bankai in particular, it's something that we haven't had a remake of since his initial introduction over like 7 years ago. So a remake is exciting, but the fact that it's a 1000-year Blood War one when he's absolutely raging against Yuhabak for destroying Soul Society makes it even cooler. Animation-wise, this character is perfect. Seriously, some of the best animations this game has to offer. We have a character that has skills that rival the 9th anniversary, in some cases better, right? Because he has the recharge in between stages. He has the weakening plus. He has the superior strong attack. He has the extra soul bomb. That's something the new characters, the anniversary characters that are still absolutely amazing, do lack. I said it before this character release, the best way to look at him is a 9th anniversary Kenpachi without the wonky strong attacks. In this case, maybe the perfect strong attacks. Ichigo seriously is one of the best characters in Brave Souls, probably the best character in Brave Souls, and the fact that he plays like this while also looking absolutely sick is probably the best part about it. I would like to say it's recency bias, but I really do believe this is going to be my favorite character of the entire year, and today's the last day of the year, so it only makes sense. He's absolutely amazing, a must-have in my opinion. If you have him, congratulations, and in the comments below, let me know what you like to think about this character. Again, like I said, plenty more showcases for this character to come out in the coming days, so make sure you are subscribed for that. We are shooting right now for 90,000 subscribers. We are on our way to 100,000. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you lads in the new year for the year 2025. With that said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care, and peace. Well, this is a bit awkward. I'm actually recording this on the 31st, but I'm pretty sure I'm not uploading this till tomorrow, so Happy New Year. It's already New Year. Happy New Year.